We looked at a model that was focused around catalysts and strategists and stewards and operator. And we wanted to optimize the steward and operator, but really drive the catalysts and strategists skill sets in our organization. And the way we were structured, the way that our teams were working, we weren't really leveraging our shared services properly. We weren't leveraging the tool sets that we had. We had a lot of duplication. So we went through a whole simplification, transformation journey to really lift the profile of finance in the organization. We had several streams. So one of the streams around the FP&A, which is finance and planning and analysis. So our whole process around the planning process, which obviously takes a lot of time. Our finance, peers spend a lot of time planning, but it impacts the whole organization. So when we did look at that stream, it was not just about changing the planning process within finance, but it was impacting the planning process for the whole organization. So we had some really senior stakeholders, parts and parcel of our steering committees and our design councils. So that was one of our streams. We had a stream around shared services itself, looking at how we operate as a shared service. So because we had a bit of a fragmented structure in our shared services, so we had to bring that together and probably add some of the disciplines that you would take for granted in other shared services that we probably hadn't owned in. So we had some good opportunities, and people actually raised it a challenge, and we're seeing a large change in our shared services. So that was the second stream. We had a third stream around reporting and BI. So we had a team. One was about information, the other one was around reporting, and we had reporting that was fragmented across our finance organizations, so we consolidated, went through a whole process of reviewing all of the reports, doing a bit of a cleansing, simplification, stopped doing some of them, and automating the majority of it into a tool that is quite slick.
We're basically about 350 people, and that's both Telstra staff and our IBM partner, and we are aligned by function, so AP, AR, revenue accounting, expense accounting, project accounting, channel commissions. We're very much aligned along the service delivery channels. And I have a small team that actually deals with non-BAU projects. So we are functionally aligned from a business as usual perspective, and then we have the small service delivery team supporting that. The way I see it, shared service is actually the foundations of finance transformation. By bringing together like activity, you can start to drive process improvement, standardization, efficiency, and of course cost benefit through the activity. But it's broader than that. Finance is trying to move up the capability framework, and in order to do that, we have to, as much as possible, move away from the day-to-day transactional activity. So bringing them into a shared service gives us the opportunity to automate, to really improve those processes, and allow our business partners to actually focus on partnering the business and driving outcomes.
When I started within the group, we were producing about 1,500 reports. And then the rest of finance was producing about 1,300 additional reports that we could see. So we did take very much an inventory-based or taxonomy type approach. And whilst there were lots of different inventories out there, there wasn't also one centralised inventory. The other thing when I first moved into the group I noticed was that I could get a certain metric out of multiple groups, just cut in a different way. So we did a couple of things. The first thing we did was look at the reporting output in terms of the subject matter category, and we took 6 subject matter areas across finance and said we're going to condense these reports or metrics into single subject matter areas to create single points of accountability and a single sort of version or source of the truth. We then took literally a one-by-one approach where we opened each report, looked at it, and said, okay, what category does that fit into? Once we did that, we then categorised the reports themselves and said, is this a core report, which is output that goes into the executive that measures business performance, or is it something else that we could say push to a self-serve report, self-serve analysis, and then we had another category which is, if we need to burst out information to people or a system. So we categorised our reports like that, and then the other category we had was stop, and we went through these reports one at a time with the actual report owners themselves and said, in our ideal, condensed, simplified world, where would we take this report?